What's up, y'all? Back again with the Steelers. Excited to be back with it. We're at the beginning of Season 3 preseason. We can kind of jump into here. And before we jump into our first game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, as you can see, we have the Vikings, Washington, and Cleveland down the list for the preseason. We have a little bit of cap room, and we have some roster space, so we have some positions that we need to fill, and we have some positions that would be nice to fill. So if we go to our team needs, you can see we have, 7 roster spots we can fill. I think we need a backup center. I think we need a backup fullback. I'd like to grab both of those. I have names written down for each of these, so I have guys I'm going to go check out. I did look through this a little bit. I think after those first two positions, we look at a third-string quarterback, and we're going to have a discussion about the halfback position. And so I think y'all talked me into trading Jerome Bettis. So we could do this one of two ways. We could look around at teams that need a halfback and make the trade right away, or we could put him up on the trade block and see who wants to trade for him. The only problem is that, like, what? Okay, the Colts. Why would did Deuce Staley retire? He did retire. I don't know why we would trade him to the Colts. Like, maybe we could send him to the Dolphins for Guzman or something like that. As I look around all of these teams, this is just an idea I had very offhand. Like, I feel like he's going to regress. We could send him to purgatory with the Jets. That feels mean-spirited. But I do think maybe it would be nice to get off of his contract and get those $4 million back. It is a lot of flexibility that we could possibly get back with that. But I don't know where we would like, maybe he'd be better on the Patriots as a backup. Maybe the Raiders would take him, but I don't know who we would take out of all these guys. No one's that good. I don't know that we would want to send him to the Ravens. Washington would probably say no. Maybe the Saints. This is an expensive backup, though. I don't think that they would take on another expensive piece. That's the thing, too. Like, they'd have to be willing to take on the contract. So actually, let me go around and see who has the cap space to potentially bring on Jerome Bettis. Maybe that's a bigger discussion. Where did we go first? Was it the Jets? Was that the purgatory we thought about sending him to? So the Jets have no money. So that's kind of takes it off the table right away. I don't know why we would send him to the Colts. So maybe it's a matter of we can't send him anywhere unless we were going to get, like... But again, we're trying to make Lee Marsh the starter, so I don't know why I would go after Julius Jones. Again, we're not trying to help the Colts. I don't think I'm trying to get a Larry Johnson or Dominic Rhodes, although... Am I not trying to get a Dominic Rhodes? I don't know. Dominic Rhodes is actually kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'd have him go anywhere here. Again, I need to look at teams with cap room too, so maybe that's where I should start. No one has a lot of cap room right now. We have... The 49ers have a bunch of cap room. We have a lot of cap room. And part of the reason why I'm thinking about this is because you can see here Chris Perry is a free agent, and I'm interested in signing him potentially out of free agency. And then... Like, why would you have... I mean, we could also just... Oh, Gainer, you're going to get it soon for sure. We could also just straight up cut Jerome Bettis if we wanted to. We would get $4 million back. You can see here, we would get nearly $5 million back. His penalty's only $1 million. I just feel like a team would pay us for him or give us something. Maybe the Seahawks are an option. Actually, let's talk about Jason Stevenson, huh? Catching guy out of the backfield, could just be a body back there. pair him up with Ontario Smith. That's actually not a terrible... That was the first one that I haven't hated. Do they have the money for it, though? They do! The Saints have the money, but I don't think they would make the trade. Washington? I mean, we could go out and get Levi Wolf, but again, that's like starter territory. If anything, I would go and trade for Liddell Betts and have him as a backup. That's actually not a bad idea either. Okay, so Washington's an option. There or no, there or no. No. I don't think the Pats would make this trade. Unless we got someone that we just cut right away. Because I kind of want to make this deal and then go and get Chris Perry so we have at least 2 backs on the roster. This is so funny to me. Do you think we can go and get one of these 2 running backs? What if we just got Sean Alexander? How funny would that be? I don't think they would go for that, but if anything, they would swap us Steven Davis for Jerome Bettis because they went and got Sean Alexander. I'd be surprised if they didn't try and trade him at some point. None of these rookies are very fast. These guys have a ton of halfbacks on their roster. I mean, we would be doing... And the Jets can't really handle it salary-wise. I wonder if we could get Greg Jones. Or if they would trade for, like... Would they get rid of Fred Taylor? I mean, again, that would be making Lee Marsh the backup when we were trying to make him the starter, so... I need to think about those moves. Trung's a Giant now. That's so funny. Well, we don't need to trade for him on the Giants. No salary on any of these teams. Again, I don't think they're making any of these trades with us. Julius Jones is super interesting, but I don't think that trade's happening. Kevin Fox kind of cheap. I kind of like Dominic Rhodes. I'll explain what you mean. I'm just trying to find a good backup. Oh, you're thinking a replacement rather than a... Yeah, I mean, they would play as a backup. This guy's expensive as hell, though. This must have been, like, the top pick. I don't think they're trading him. Maybe Marcel's ship isn't bad. Although he's slow. Damn, dude. Okay, I've gone pretty much all the way around, so I need to make a decision at some point here. So I think partially, part of what I want to do here is look at Chris Perry really quickly. Is that he's actually probably a good second fiddle to what Marsh is going to do. So these 2 guys would probably be the backs. So it's basically like, where can I send Jerome that makes sense that we could get some capital back and maybe a 3rd string back with a draft pick for Jerome, basically, is maybe what I'm thinking. Plus, Chris Perry's young, so hopefully he's going to get even better. I like his speed and agility, and his break tackle, secure ball are all in good places. Let's look at what he costs. He wants a front-loaded deal for 3 years? Interesting. So I could technically make this signing and continue to shop around knowing that we had Chris Perry on the roster. I don't think I would make it front-loaded. I think I would maybe be okay with it balanced. I think that ends up... That actually saves us some money, so yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, I mean, if he's going to be getting, like, second ball carry level, this is a pretty good contract for that. I think this is maybe... Let me grab Chris Perry now. I like him on a 3-year balance deal. Especially if he grows, that would be really nice. Of course, he declines the first offer. Let's poke him up to a 0.5. He'll probably take this. Cool. All right, so we signed Chris Perry, which means we could just sit tight. We could just be happy with the fact that we now have 3 halfbacks that are all pretty decent across the board. We could put the bus on the trade block. And, I mean, we could do that. We could just start by placing him on the trade block and see who's interested. So maybe that's fine. Maybe that's all we needed to do. Okay. Let's start with the other backups that we needed to sign. I believe center was one of them. I had a name for that. And that name was Randall Harper. You're looking at him. So I like the run block number at an 81, and the pass block number is not so bad. He's big enough. He'll be a body. We usually don't get, issues with, there's no chance in the world that I'm giving you that much money. In fact, you're going to sign an ascending deal and you're going to like it. Let's put, yeah, even I'll sweeten it to 9.5 just so it feels a little bit better for you. But, Randall Harper, welcome to the Steelers. That fills up another roster spot. Perfect. It's been a sec. I need to remind myself what else we need. I think the other backup we needed was a fullback. I have another name for that. Roman Wolf. Just for the name alone, I feel like. So at fullback, we've got Kreider there, but I just wanted to get a body. Roman Wolf, I liked as a blocker. I believe his run block was probably the best out of everybody. 80 run block. I feel like he's going to get time immediately as an undrafted free agent. So Roman Wolf, we're going to go ahead and grab. Let's see what he's going to want. He wants a 3-year descending deal. We'll give him a 3-year ascending deal with no bonus because you are not good enough to warrant a bonus. We'll go 1.9. He'll probably take that. We'll see if he wants more. He declines that, of course. We'll go up to 0.5. That works for me. Welcome to the Steelers, Roman Wolf. We still got some room, and I still got some names on here. We're going to go with backup quarterback. We're going to grab not Alvin Fowler, but in this universe, Joey Fowler. 78 arm strength, more kind of even across the board. 65 pass accuracy, 56 read coverage. He is only a 52 speed, but that's better than Joe. I think Fowler was like Alvin Fowler was like a 12 speed or something like that. So again, third string quarterback, second year undrafted. He wants a long deal. Again, I think we're going to make it ascending. I think we're going to make it sans bonus. That means he's going to want more. But because it's so long, it really doesn't hurt for the first couple of years. And if he doesn't pop in any sort of way, then it's kind of like no harm, no foul. We'll start with 4.9 over 5. He'll probably say no to that. Fine. Sometimes they say next. That's okay, man. I literally said I only want him as a blocker. Cool. So we've filled that roster spot. Now let's see in terms of... there is one more roster spot technically that we can fill for cornerback. I did write a name down for that. Actually, I wrote kind of an important name down for that. So let me go ahead and see if I can grab him with the money that we have left. Because you can see here, there's a little bit of a drop-off from Andre Dyson. I mean, I know we call him Cole Clutch, but his coverage numbers and his tackle numbers leave a little bit to be desired. I think he's more suited as a nickel corner. And then we have Gordon Park, who's still growing in his second year. Decent corporate coverage numbers, fast as hell, good tackle numbers. Maybe he'll pop after the preseason. But I do feel like we need a number 2 corner. I did write this name down. And Dwayne Starks is available at a 78 overall. Antoine Winfield was also available, but but you're going to kind of see here, oh, never mind. He has a better durability. Maybe there was something here about Starks that made me like him more than Winfield, but maybe Winfield is a decent choice. Why did I write down Dwayne Starks when I feel like I like Winfield's stats a little bit better? The coverage numbers are a little bit less good, but I can sacrifice that for better tackling, better strength, better stamina, better durability. Let me see what he did last year. He's a little bit younger too. 41 tackles, a sack, and an interception. Dwayne Starks, 3 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 2 interceptions. All right, let's talk Winfield here. Oh, that's probably why. Yeah, I don't got the money for that. That's why. I must have looked at how much money he would cost. How much is Starks going to cost? He just wants he wants way too much money. Okay, I guess we're not getting a cornerback. Or if we are getting a cornerback, it's going to be not one of those guys. Jesus. All right, well, let's look at this undrafted free agent. 82 coverage, kind of slow, can't really tackle. I can see why he went undrafted. Paper, not very good. Darren Love, very durable, good stamina, no strength, can tackle, pretty decent speed, pretty decent coverage. I kind of like Darren Love. He's the 4th best available. I kind of like Darren Love. He's the best available undrafted free agent. I kind of like this. Let me see what he wants. He's cheap as hell too. Let's take away that bonus. Let's go ascending. We should be able to fill that spot with his name, no problem. We'll just give him a clean 2. He should be able to take that. And this is a guy we hope maybe grows on our bench. You decline that? You would rather be an undrafted free agent? Please tell me that giving you this 0.01 is going to make a difference. You're lucky your name is so damn cool, Darren Love. Okay, let's take a step back. Let's look at our team needs. We now are officially at 52 players. We can sign 2 more guys. But, you know, Jerome Bettis may be on the move. I'm going to look at best available. I think there was a tight end that looked interesting to me because, like, Kranchik is kind of a blocker. Sharp and Roy are maybe redundancies, although Sharp can actually block. But at least having Roy out there will be a good option. What other names had I written down? How are we doing at tackle? So there's a tackle out there I might sign based on what we're looking like. I think I'm going to look at the defensive tackle that I was looking at because I'm curious there. Defensive end, I think we have to hold tight. I think we're already dedicating too much money to defensive end, as underwhelmed as I am by both Kirksha and Lee. And that was pretty much it for positions that I was looking in. We do need to solve free safety, although Jabril Wilson is the starter with a bullet right now. So let's look at tackle first. Actually, let's look at defense first, because we haven't really signed anyone to defense, and I want to see if there's anyone like super interesting there. And these guys are actually... Donnell Washington isn't that great. Wayne Becker, these are both young guys at the nose tackle, so let's see what we got out here. I believe, what was the name I had? Elias Green. So I think this is another young gun. It was a run coverage guy. I don't think that moves the needle enough for me. So I can move on there. Let's look at the defensive end I was looking at. I think it was either Henderson or Rivera. I think I was looking at pass rushers for this. Yeah, so Antonio Henderson, Guadalupe Rivera. I like the fact that he's 86-84 for his run coverage pass rush. His tackle sucks. His speed sucks. His durability is good. Let me take a look at Guadalupe real quick. What do you want? You want so much damn money. Why do you want so much damn money? It's because they thought they should have been a first-round pick. I'm going to leave him alone for now. I feel like there's going to be better defensive ends out there later on. So that gives us... Ooh, you know what? Desmond Clark is available. And at the very least, he can catch Another guy that can couch. He could run a route. Although, do we need him? He's kind of redundant with Shannon Sharp, too. So I guess we don't really need him. Let's look at the tackles. I liked Travell Wharton. Now, this is not a computer-generated guy. I just like the fact that his pass blocking is 82 and his run blocking is 78. And that's the kind of guy I want to stash on my bench and see if he gets really good. What kind of contract does he want? That's an okay contract. What if I took out your bonus and made it... that's a lot of money for a guy who's not going to play. Yeah, that's just kind of throwing money at a guy that's just for the sake of throwing money up. So, I mean, we can keep these 2 roster spots open for now, too. We've gone through everyone. I don't think there's anyone that super duper makes me, like, go crazy in my boots. So this is our... Well, let's actually go to the depth chart and kind of set up the team. So we've got Ben starting at quarterback. We got Fowler now backing up Dorsey as the 3rd string. He'll probably be the placeholder and the kneel down guy for the season. I think Jerome is going to get dropped into that 3rd spot as we look for a home for him. The question is whether or not Chris Perry starts or Lee Marsh starts. I think we're going to start Lee and see how Chris Perry does as the number 2, but this might be like a 50-50 situation where we're kind of like bringing Lee out after every play he does and run with Perry second after. We'll leave Kreider in. This is not right. We'll have Hines up top. We'll have DeVar Darling as the full-time slot guy. We got Randall L next to him on the right. And then, this is what I was wondering. If I should be switching the left and the right side. We won't know for sure until after the preseason is over. We'll see. We'll do like a sweep of the whole team, and everyone's rating should change from where they finished in the off season. We're gonna try this. I think this is actually the way things are supposed to be, where you have your better guy on the right, especially for a right-handed quarterback. Where the hell is... Oh, there he is. DeVar Darling goes into the slot. Randall comes down. I'm going to leave Sharp as the 3rd team receiver, and TJ Hujimenzada is going to kind of just hang out in that 4th spot. I'm going to leave Shannon as the starter. I think Roy will come in on those second tight end sets where we're looking to pass, which is exciting. Starks is the left tackle? No, Samuels is the left tackle. Starks is the backup. Faneka's the... I think I had Faneka as the right guard. I had Carson as the left guard. Yep, that's right. Harding's over Harper. Faneka, Simmons, Carson. So, Starks is very well poised to take over for Marvel Smith, but I think Marvel makes all the money, and he's just slightly better overall as a run blocker, so I think we'll leave him there for now. So that's the offense. For the defense, let's put Smith... No, that's right. I think the better guy goes on the left defensive end, but I think we're going to start Lee on the other side, so Kirkshire's going to come to the backup as the defensive tackle. We're going to start... I think Washington has to be the starter here. He's the better run coverage guy, and we're going to put Becker as the backup, which means he'll play in bear situations. And then we're going to put Lee as the starter on the right side. Defensive end, which is exciting for him. We'll keep Farrier on the inside. We'll keep Bell on the inside. Boone is going to take over as the 2nd string there, and hopefully he pops a little bit. We got Perry as a young backup, and Caldwell gets pushed to the 3rd team. So for cornerback, we're going to go with the same... We're going to start... I think I'm going to start Park on the right side. Colcluck comes in as the nickel corner. And then that means... I think Newton is going to play dime. Yep, that's right. Drayton Florence just barely misses on the playing time there. And then we'll match this on the other side. Otherwise, Dyson is going to come up and play to this side. And then we've got Cole Clutch and Newton. Perfect. Florence is going to come up here above Love. Love we signed just as a potential development project. Palomalu starts over Huff. It's too bad we can't send Huff over to this side, but we are going to start Jabril Wilson in that free safety spot for now. And I think these guys are literally carbon copies. I literally drafted carbon copies of each other. I think Manning probably stays for now purely because he's faster, but he's not that much faster. His agility is just better, so we'll see. I don't think both of these guys last the whole preseason. And then we've got, he should not be the kick returner. Oh yeah, we need to find a new kick returner. I mean, I hesitate to make it Chris Perry. That is a direction we could go in. Although he's not really fast enough. $84.78. That took me way too long to find. Newton could be a punt returner, maybe. Oh wow, so I just don't really have a ton of options for this. I mean, low-key Sharp would not be a bad idea. Park is also going to be more of a... Oh no, we're starting him. So I gotta go with I mean, Drayton Florence isn't a bad... I think Drayton Florence should be the kick returner, maybe the punt returner as well. 90-80 is... That's kind of what you want. I'm going to gamecast the preseason, and then I'm going to play the first game of the regular season. So we're going to be here for a minute. I'm going to make Doyle Sharp the other. I went right by him. Yeah, I think 93 speed, 82 agility means you can also be the kick returner. And actually, I think I'll make him kick returner 1. And then I'll make Drayton Florence the punt returner. Well, technically Doyle Sharp is faster, so... Yeah, let's go with Doyle. See how he does as the punt returner. Special teams guy. He's also going to take over as the 4th receiver. So we've got DeVar Darling for that nickel plan. Okay, so I think we can do it. I think we can see who gets interested in us. We've already checked out all the major signings from last time. We're 3rd in the power rankings, I guess. And so we can let me quickly check out who's left in the free agent pool. See if there's anyone notable and see where they go after this first week. So Gary Walker, let me just write this down. I have my actual pen too. I almost promise you Olindo Mari is not going anywhere, as is... so Gary Walker's kind of the only notable guy. I guess we can also see where Lance Johnstone goes. Okay, I think we can go into game number 1. This is, just like I said a second ago, we're going to gamecast all of these games. We'll, yes sir, Derm, good to have you, sir. I'm going to save after this first preseason. Let me change the game plan. I want to, oh, they don't give they don't give a sub thing. I guess there's no sub rate. It's just what their fatigue is. So let's just do that. I mean, we're gonna be mostly backups at this point anyway. So whatever. Of course, that means Jerome is going to play a bunch this game. I should have made Jerome the starter for this game, but I guess we're potentially showing him off as a... Should I flip him so he's the starter so he doesn't get hurt? That would be such a nightmare if he got hurt. Ken Dorsey's sucking it up so far. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna quickly make Jerome Bettis the starter, so we get Lee Marsh and Chris Perry playing more for the rest of this game. Like, by the end of this game, I think it'll be just Chris Perry taking carries. Doyle with a good punt return there. Chris Perry, Lee Marsh, love that. Good catch by Roy. A couple good catches by Roy. LeBrandon Toefield featured for Jacksonville. Ken Dorsey could not catch a cold right now. I guess throw a cold? Toss a cold? Not a lot of offense from either team currently. Come on, Lee. Come on, Lee. Got a minute left in the half. A little bit of offense from Nate Burleson. Who is this? Nick Wilkins? Okay. I was going to say, I don't think we get the ball coming out of halftime, but our defense has been pretty good. Oh! A 98-yard punt return from Doyle Sharp for a touchdown. Do you think it was a good idea making him a punt returner? Let's go, man. Good pass from Joey Fowler, and then he immediately gets picked. So it went from getting one complete way down the field to getting totally ripped off. Looks like the Jags are going to score. Oh, penalty. Might have spoken too soon. They get a field goal. Tough penalty right at the goal line. Good catch by Sharp. Chris Perry's running okay. With a reception, too. Okay, we're driving now. Ah, Joey. Uh-oh. See, this is why. This is why we took Jerome out. Couldn't afford an injury to him. We'll turnover on downs, and we get the dub. All right, great job by our backups getting the victory. The only touchdown scored was the return for a touchdown. So we'll simulate the week. I think we have a whole bye week to consider offers and stuff like that. I want to just quickly save. So there you go. You get to see the back end. You get to see all my save files. Blah 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 blah. So I like watching SportsCenter. I think it's a fun thing to kind of see what's going on in the league. We'll see if the free agent signings get covered in this first SportsCenter, and then we'll just move straight on through the bye week. Watch the second SportsCenter, and then we'll go through and see what we got going on for offers for Jerome Bettis. So. Hopefully SportsCenter continues to function here in Season 3, which would be nice.
This is SportsCenter.
And this is, if you're just joining us for preseason week 1, we got our win.
Get to it.
We'll see how the rest of the league did.
In our first game this week, we had the Patriots come away with a decisive 10-point win.
Patriots quarterback.
White rushed for over 50 yards and
Cordell
helped
Stewart
his Bears
backing
beat
up
the
the
Bills.
Bears.
We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Luckily, we had a relatively injury-free week. which makes my job just that much easier. Sean Ellis sticks out on
you
this
will
list
let
as
me
one of the more costly
have a moment
injuries.
with no,
It's
I'm
reported
kidding.
that he's broken his hip, and if that's the case, he'll be out for 8 weeks. So that'll do it for now.
I
Chris,
have
let's send it back to you.
decided
At the home of the Indy 500,
that I'm going to make
we
a
had the
survey
Colts get edged out by 2
that
points.
I'm going to drop tomorrow.
We had an interesting free agency
And the
pickup
results
note
of that
here.
survey
Trey's
will
got the
dictate
lowdown
what 2
for us.
teams I
Trey?
control going into my NCAA.
All right, Chris,
and
let's switch gears
good,
and
it's telling
talk
us.
about
So Gary
players
Walker
that'll
signs
have
with the
new homes in
Bengals,
the
so
National
we're going to
Football
see him
League.
a couple of
As
times.
free agency continues to play
That
such
sucks.
a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Gary Walker will have a new place to call home as he accepts
I have
a new
2 of those
contract.
options worked
4
out, and I'm going to
years,
actually poke around
$9.7 million.
NCAA, not NCAA.
Dwayne Starks is
Yeah,
also
NCAA.
on the move as he
Maybe?
signs a
I don't know.
robust
So
5-year
Dwayne Starks goes to
contract with the
Cincinnati as
Bengals.
well. Jeez. And Antoine Witt. They signed
Mike
both of
Green
them?
is going to find himself with a new club, and he'll be in a new tax bracket too. 5
That's
years,
crazy.
$5.8 million, plus a $1.1 million signing bonus. Patterson will also be locked up for a while as he signs a healthy 6-year contract with the Saints.
Down in Qualcomm Stadium, we had the Chargers walk away with a 6-point victory. Falcons, Cowboys. Tim Hasselbeck is barking signals at the 5-yard line. Always tough to move in there. His favorite target, the tight end. Boy, does he get open again. Touchdown. The Falcons go on to win this by the final score of 31-10. The Redskins got 300-plus
Tim
yards from their
Hasselbeck
offense in
versus
their
Vinny
victory at
Testaverde.
Nashville.
What year is it?
The Broncos won on the road and will now head home to meet the Redskins.
Shout out to Chung, though.
Gardner pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Seahawks beat the Saints. On the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field in Green Bay, we had the Packers come away with a 2-point nail-biting win. Up in the HHH Metrodome, we had the Vikings lose by a narrow 5-point margin. Jaguars, Steelers.
Ooh. Is it the punt return?
Sharp is set to catch it and move forward quickly.
Oh, look
and
at where we
you know
were,
it's not
at
gonna
the
be a long
30-yard
punt flying
line.
out of their own end zone.
Wait, it said he returned
grabs
it
it,
98
gets a
yards. Oh,
block,
no, it was a short
and
one.
just what their opponents feared, a quick 6
That's
against
true.
them. 32 yards. The Steelers win this one by the
Okay.
final score of 12-6. The Eagles
job,
defense
Doyle.
got to the quarterback 4 times in their win at
What's up,
Oakland.
Mario?
And last but not least, we had the Chiefs come away victorious. So as usual, plenty of
chilling, man.
surprises
How are you
around
doing?
the NFL. And heck, I mean, we just got into week 1. My primetime players game
I feel
balls
like
go
if-
out to these gentlemen. Each one
more
with
than a
fine
couple of
start
these
to the
are
season.
maybe Ward and the other
That'll do it,
receiver
sports
computer
fans. I'm
generated.
Chris
Carson?
Berman, and thanks so
That's
much for
pretty dope.
joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Okay, so we saw where a few of those guys went. I'm going to quickly, before anything else, we saw the players of the week. We'll see the bye week. We'll simulate it in a second. I want to quickly just see who's out there. We obviously still have room in our cap, and we could do something about that. I would be curious to see who the preliminary offers are. All right, so Hugh Douglas is now available. Lindo Mari, Morgan Anderson, Lance Johnstone, blah, blah, blah. Dwayne Clemens, Andre Davis. Andre Davis is interesting, but we don't need an inside linebacker. I don't think anyone has appeared in free agency that we're super duper interested in at this point. I'm sure some guys have also disappeared, which is unfortunate. Wharton is still there, so we could always grab Wharton if we wanted to. Is my guy Wolf still there? Is this the guy? No, that's not the guy I was looking at. Elias Green is still there. That's nice. That makes me feel good. Is my pass rush daddy still here? Antonio Henderson is still there. Okay, great. I'm thinking about signing any number of these guys, and yes, I did just call him my pass rush daddy. Honestly, if anything, I think I want that 4th defensive end. How much is he going to cost? No bonus. Ascending contract. 4th year. I mean, if he's good, I would happily pay him over $1 million, and that's actually a good number to come onto the team. Antonio Henderson, welcome to the freaking Steelers. Oh, that's my cap. Actually, let me look at him one more time. Sorry, that's annoying. Before I get too ahead of myself. Speed's decent, tackles meh. But you gotta get better at something. Durability is not the best, but I like the deal. We've taken a couple of projects in these off-seasons or these preseason signings. I think that's gonna be one of them. Okay, Antonio Henderson, you're on. All right, that's gonna be that for now. Who's interested in Jerome? Right now, the Texans. Now let's see if it makes sense that they would want him in the first place. I don't think it makes a ton of sense that you would trade without. Like, what's wrong with these guys? What is wrong with this guy? Who's this guy? Jonathan Wells. Potentially. I have till the trade deadline to do that. I think that is probably partially why we would get rid of Jerome. Interesting. Don't know who that is. That is a whew. Okay, I don't think the Texans are an option, so we can skip that. Okay, so that means I'm satisfied with everything that I have seen. I guess I can look at the rest of the trading block, see if anyone's actually trying to trade anything real. Usually it's just kickers and punters, as evidenced by Matt Turk. Umenyiora! And they have a lot of cap space. Let's talk, guys. You also... What if you took another one of our halfbacks? No interest? No interest from that? It would probably take a big pick. We got first rounders. Technically, a defensive end would justify it. Is Osi Umenyiora a first round pick? Oh, I guess that's true. Where am I going? Defensive end, Giants. Is Osi Umenyiora good? He's an expiring contract. His pass rush is not that great. Okay, maybe I'm off it. I don't think I want to offer a first round pick for him. That's all that's out there right now. Okay. So let's simulate the bye week. Let's watch the Sports Center. We're obviously off this week. We made a quick signing. Who knows? Maybe OC got traded in this bye week, but we're gonna watch the Sports Center and find out. It's true that the spin could be Jerome Bettis puts people in seats. A year of Jerome Bettis stirs up interest in the franchise.
Hey,
we can look at it.
Got a lot of games to cover. Let's get at it.
They didn't seem to want to give us their
game this week, we had the Browns come away with a 7-point win.
It'd be crazy if they just cut him.
Holmes had a ton of sacks and helped his Lions beat the Raiders. At the home of the Indy 500, we had the Colts win by a 9-point margin. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
I'll save after the Sports Center's done.
Thanks. Luckily, we had a relatively injury-free week, which makes my job just that much easier. Mike Pacillo might be the biggest loss on this list. He'll be out for the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, two torn MCLs already.
Chris, let's send it back to you.
First of all, Lorenzo Bromell is a sick name.
We had the Buccaneers win this one to the tune of 13 points. The Chargers went to the air for over 350 yards in their win at Nashville. The Redskins won on the road and will head into their bye week on a high note. Deion Branch had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Patriots beat the Dolphins. In the land of the crab cakes, Baltimore, we had the Ravens fall by 10 points. We had an interesting free agency
Yeah, but you
pickup of
can't
note
compare
here.
draft
Trey's got
logic
the
in
lowdown
this
for
game
us.
to real
Trey?
life, unfortunately.
All right, Chris, let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Hugh Douglas will be moving on from his current address, and he gets a pretty good deal to do it. 2 years, $4.6 million, plus a $1.3 million signing bonus. Brian Robinson will also have a new address for a while as he signs
Lance
a 4-year
Johnstone,
contract with the
Buffalo.
Browns. Tank Johnson is on the move, as you see,
Oh, wow.
as he accepts a pretty good offer to
That's
leave
a
his
good-
current club.
That's actually a
4
good
years,
deal for Tank Johnson.
$3.8 million, plus a $1.1 million signing bonus. Brady Smith will also have a new address for
Hello.
a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Cowboys.
Up in Chicago, we had the Bears get sent away with a 7-point loss. The Cowboys' defense held their opponents to under 150 passing yards in their win at Arrowhead Stadium. The Panthers won at home and will stay home for next week's game when they meet the Dolphins. Terrell Owens had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Eagles beat the Jets. And in our final game, we had the Bills come away victorious. So, 2 weeks into the books here on ESPN, here's my prime time
Spencer's their
performers for
draft
week number
pick.
2, and each is going to get a game ball. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Okay. I will save. I'll do that before anything else. I think I want to make this deal. Steelers. I think I want to make this deal before the next week begins. Okay. Let's see what kind of interest we got. Still just the Texans. Let's look at it. Love trading with the Texans. I mean, I don't really want Grant. I don't really want Dominic Davis. They're not interested in trading me any of them. I can get a 5th round pick. I can't even get 2 5th round picks. Oh my god. Who did you even want to trade for him? That's insane. I would probably have to attach draft capital if we were going to get a guy back for him. I guess we got to keep him on the roster for a little bit longer. That's crazy. So I doubt putting him on the offer sheet is gonna... Wow. I'm like almost shocked by that. This is a computer generated guy. You would take the 5th? For nearly $5 million of cap space back. I presume... Yeah, it would cost more if they're giving up a young guy. So, a 5th, of which we already... I think we already have an extra 5th this year. Do we not? We do, so we're just stacking up 5ths. I don't know, man. Is that truly the best we're going to do? Let's look around again, just really quickly. Like, would the Vikings trade us? I mean, I'd rather take a 5th from the Vikings because at least he's going somewhere to play. Get a 7th rounder in the following year. We couldn't even get a 5th and a 7th for him. That is so crazy. I mean, he wouldn't be a backup. He would be a really expensive third. He'd get cut. They'd be trading a pick to get cut. Where could he go to be a backup? New England or Philly? That's funny. They're not interested in giving me Dominic Rhodes, though. That'd be great. It's so funny that the Colts makes the most sense, but I don't want to do that again. They're not even interested in trading a 55 overall halfback with 85 speed. Yeah, I guess that's true. It's either cut him, lose the money for nothing. Okay, now we're talking. We got a little bit of interest out of Henry. He's bad. He's kind of speedy. He can't break a tackle even though he's a halfback. He's not durable. I mean, we would probably cut him. Does that mean we would maybe get a 4th round pick out of the Dolphins? Nope. Does that mean we would get... No. Oh my god. It goes away if I add the pick. Hilarious. They have Marshall Faulk too. That's funny. Yeah, with the Jets, probably not. They have no cap room. That's the other thing, is that the cap room makes a difference too. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, maybe we kick it one more week then. What's funny is that the Pats could actually probably use him. I don't think... Again, I think we're just getting a 5th round pick wherever we trade him. And there's also, like... Maybe we can sit on it for a little bit longer because there's currently no halfback sitting in free agency, and there will be more later. So, let's kick it one more week. Maybe another team will come in with interest. We're going to move it so he's actually not starting now, because I think that means he won't play. So we'll go to the game cast for this one. And, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. At a certain point, I got to try and get to the regular season before it gets too late. As the starters for the Vikings offense are off to a fast start. Touchdown, easy pickings for the Minnesota Vikings. We get a chance now. This is the first time our starting offense has gone up to the field. A little 1-2 punch from Perry and Lee Marsh. Love to see that. Ben got sacked and then threw an incomplete pass to Lee. Too bad. Hey, let's get a stop, guys. How about it? Randy Moss is already 5 for 41. What? We had a 4th down and then we give up a punt or a penalty? That sucks. I wonder what the penalty was. Damn. Not great, Lee. Jesus Christ. Uh-oh. Is this still starters? Lee's struggling here, man. That's been a couple of just duds from him. Interesting. Fumble on Ben Roethlisberger that got picked up by somebody else. Jesus, we cannot run the ball right now. Is it the line? I felt like our line was okay. Okay, TJ. TJ's been balling this preseason. He's like, nah, make me the nickel. Make me the slot receiver, man. Or the number 4. Haven't heard DeVar Darling's name very much. That might have been a dud of a signing by us. Uh-oh, Jerome's in. Do we need to take him out? Okay. There we go. Chris Perry. I do think, let me quickly, because I'm a freak, I'm going to now make Jerome the starter, because that will put, I think we're now in backups mode for the rest of this game. And that way now my other guys will continue to get the carries and Jerome won't. Although Lee Marsh is not making the most of his opportunities today. Jeez. Alright, good stop by the D. There you go, Lee. Come on now. Oh my gosh. So TJ might get player of the week this week. Uh-oh, I wonder what happened. Chris Perry gets his second touchdown of the day. I don't quite know what happened there. Maybe a kick got blocked or something like that. Thanks, Reeve. Appreciate that. Positivity is glowing. For the calendar for the week. All right. I feel pretty confident that it's not going to freeze at this point, but I will save. We are 2-0, which is dope. At some point, it'll simulate. Thinking. The all-powerful PlayStation 2. Just really needed to figure that game out. Okay, let's go save really quick. Steelers. Okay, let's watch the center of sports, and then we'll jump in against Washington, who's 2-0 in this preseason. We'll check for more Jerome trades, which may be a tough sell.
I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Jets squeeze out a 4-point victory. Carson pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Dolphins beat the Panthers. Down in the sunny skies of Arizona, we had the Cardinals convincingly win by 15. Over at M&T Stadium, we had the Ravens losing by 13. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Isaac Sopoaga will have a new place to call home as he accepts a new contract, 3 years, $2.7 million. Darius Holland is on the move as well as he signs a 3-year contract with the Jaguars. Wolf will be on the move. You see it there. He'll be getting a nice little payday, too. 2 years, $2.2 million. This guy will also be locked up for a while as he signs a healthy 6-year contract.
My favorite player, this guy.
The Steelers got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at the HHH Metrodome. Rams, Falcons. Keon Carpenter,
Giants receiver, wants to keep him tight and cuts in front. Read that throw perfectly. Inside the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown.
The Falcons win this one by the final score of 28-18. The Jaguars won on the road and will have to travel again next week when they meet the Saints. Valdez rushed for 2 touchdowns and helped his Cowboys beat the Colts. In the mile-high city of Denver, we had the Broncos stroll away with a 14-point win. Over at Gillette Stadium, we had the Patriots get nipped by 3 points. We had a big trade also of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
We'll shift gears now just a little and have a look at a few trades
Jesus
that should certainly
Christmas.
be of interest.
The Patriots get Umenyiora for Ty Warren straight up.
And it's clear this was an area of their football team that needed somebody.
Fuck.
In exchange, they'll get someone to beef up their roster. Ty Warren ought to be a welcome addition to this pass rush as they stockpile some bodies along the defensive line.
Lions, Chiefs. Larry Johnson
is just thinking, let's get out of the shadow of our own goal line. There's a first
I think
down.
Giannis is going to go to Miami,
Shadows?
unfortunately.
The only shadows are the defenders behind him. He could go all the
I feel like
way.
it's either going to be Miami or Golden State. It's going to be one of the two.
The Chiefs go on to win this by the final score of 17-3. The Bengals defense got to the quarterback 4 times in their win at 3Com Park. And in our final game, we had the Seahawks come away victorious. So that'll just about do it. But before we go, I'm going to toss out a few game balls to my prime-time players. Each and every one of these men had a week to remember. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Okay. Before we go to this game, we already saw the trade that happened. We don't need to belabor it, although that is a good trade. Honestly, I think for the Patriots, I think that's a much better trade. Are the Texans no longer interested, or did I accidentally clear it off? Who knows? We now got Anthony Perkins. They're trying to ship off another defensive end out of New York, interestingly enough. So apparently they're trying to blow up their defensive line, at least the edge rushers. No one has shown interest in Jerome Bettis. So I think at this point, what we're going to end up doing, we have one more roster spot we can fill. We're not going to do that as of right now. I don't think anyone has appeared in free agency that we feel a certain kind of way. Although AJ Feely appearing in free agency is really funny. They must have figured like they got a guy that they really liked. Just out of curiosity, I do want to see if the Giants upgraded or downgraded with this trade, or if it was just like an even swap. What do we got here? Ty Warren's a 79 overall, so technically they upgraded in a way. He's more of a pass or a run coverage guy. Who's their pass rusher then? Burgess? Interesting. That's super interesting to me. I don't know. And they're trying to trade Alan Perkins now. So they're trying to make it a Burgess and Ty Warren defensive end lineup. That's so weird. But now the Patriots have OCU Minora, Michael Haynes as a backup, and Richard Seymour. That is wild. That is wild, man. The rich get richer. Jeez. Maybe we should make them take on Jerome's contract just as like yeah. Eat this contract. Why don't you want to trade us Saul Francis, man? You're paying him so much money. Interesting. He's like probably gonna get cut, but they wouldn't want to trade him. Interesting. The Patriots actually aren't a bad idea. I just don't know why we would make that trade. Let's look at it again. Thing is, we don't even know what his rating is gonna like plummet to when the preseason is over. I actually think the Dolphins is the move. Like, let's send him to Sunny Miami to finish his career off, and he immediately becomes the backup for Ricky Williams. The Jets would be terrible. And I think the Dolphins can afford it, no? I have to confirm that they can afford it. They can afford it. Let's do it. Call it into the league. Jerome Bettis, you served us well and admirably. We'll sign a third guy. Let's grab a future 5th rounder because we already have a next year 5th rounder. They're of course going to take that. Can I get like... I can get a 6th rounder this year. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, let's grab these 2 picks. We'll get a 1st rounder next year, or a 5th rounder next year, sorry, and a 6th rounder this year. So now we'll have 2 shots in the 5th round, 2 shots in the 6th round. Jerome gets to go, I'm not looking for, you don't listen sometimes. I'm not going to get frustrated at that. So let's make this trade. Trade's been accepted. Great. We ripped that Band-Aid. We are not going to get a halfback right now. There will be lots of halfbacks that will be free agents that will be worth signing that we can grab with one of our 2 final roster spots. We now have $6.62 million in cap space to play with the 2 final roster spots, and we want to prioritize re-signing Hines Ward and potentially re-signing Chris Samuels. So I think we're in a great spot. And while it hurts to see him go, sometimes you gotta rip the Band-Aid, and that was a lot of money we got back on the books. So we're gonna rock a little short-handed at the running back position today, or at least in this game, and we're gonna simulate this game against Washington. Let's do it. I don't want Westbrook. We gotta ride with Lee Marsh, man. There we go. Although it's Chris Perry who's been scoring all the touchdowns, I feel like. He might be our like 3rd down / scoring back. But I would love to develop, like, we traded up to get the pick to get him, so I gotta make him work. Or at least try to make him work. Running better today. Love to see it. Kreider with a little 12-yarder up the middle. That was not what we wanted. Okay, holding the 3 is good. Come on, Lee. All right, Hines is... Here we go. First big play for Hines Ward. Love to see it. Great defense there. Shannon, turn back that clock. Oh, I guess I haven't looked at any of my injuries yet. I should probably do that. Lavernius Cole's having a good game. So is Clinton Portis. Alright, Washington pushing back a little bit. Did we get another kick blocked or something? And they're right back in it. That sure was easy. Man, our offense has gone nowhere. And we give up a huge... What is happening right now? Lee, dude, Lee, I need you to run the ball, man. Thank you. Gosh, that looks way better, y'all. That looks way better. Chris Perry. Lee goes backwards and Chris Perry goes into the end zone. It might start getting tough to justify Lee as the starter. Although that wasn't a very good showing by Chris Perry there. That was a could have put it away sort of drive. All right, good stop. And a missed field goal. That should... We just got to run this out. Come on. Oh, my God. Oh, the penalty bailing us out. A sack. Not very good. Ugh. I was literally about to be like, don't give up a big touchdown. Oh! Apologies. We tie it up. Is there overtime in these games? Oh my God. They missed it? This has been one of the more wild preseason simulations I've ever seen. Yeah, touchdown. Wait. What? Okay. I mean, I'll take the win. 41-35, a shootout. Okay, I'll continue to be careful because I don't want to lose that gem of a game. Okay, let's go to our injury report because we haven't listed that yet. Okay, these are good to know. So sprained wrist, broken hand. These are fine. These are guys that they're probable, so they're actually gonna play. Yeah. So these are only injuries so far, nothing too terrible, so that's okay. I think let's I don't know if there's any other, if like the Giants have gotten any interest on their guy. Nope. Turk is up. That's kind of it. No one else that isn't a kicker. Okay. Let's look at free agency, just in case someone has appeared. No one really has. No one that's going to replace anybody. So I think we can just go into the last game. Those guys are going to be on the probable report. They'll play regardless. Oh, Favre broke his foot and Sean Ellis broke his hip. That sucks. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's gamecast this. Oh no, we didn't watch SportsCenter. Good thing I didn't simulate up to it. We need to watch SportsCenter. I almost did that. My bad.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Ravens come away with a 7-point win. Brad Johnson threw 3 strikes to the end zone and helped his Buccaneers beat the Vikings. Right on the Mississippi River in St. Louis, we had the Rams get squeezed out by 4 points. Down in New Orleans, we had the Saints lose by 11. The Panthers got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. The Seahawks won at home and will stay home for next week's game when they meet the Chargers. Redskins, Steelers. Dan Kreider
Is inside the 10-yard line. Look at the moves for him. First man out of the backfield, touchdown, 8 yards.
The Steelers win this one by the final score of 41-35. Rudy Johnson ate up over 100 yards on the ground and helped his Bengals beat the Texans. Down in the deep south of Atlanta, we had the Falcons come away with a decisive 10-point win. Over at Gillette Stadium, we had the Patriots come away with a decisive 10-point win. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Mark Word will be moving on from his current address, and he gets a pretty good deal to do it. 4 years, $3.6 million. Feely got snatched up as well, and he signs a 2-year contract with the Ravens. Justin Smith is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 3 years, $6.7 million. Josh Williams will also have a new address for a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Eagles. Luckily, we had a relatively injury-free week, which makes my job just that much easier. Brett Favre won't see action for a while, and that'll be a big offensive loss for his team. X-rays revealing that a broken foot is the report. He'll be out for 5 weeks. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Looks like he's going to miss the first month of the season.
Damon Heward
Calls signals at the 12-yard line. He's so dangerous, buying time. Moves out of the pocket, fires, touchdown.
The Colts go on to win this by the final score of 35-28. The Broncos got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Lincoln Financial Field. And last but not least, we had the Lions come away victorious. So another week in the books here on
Look
ESPN.
at Kevin Jones
what do you say
doing
we
his
hand out a few
thing.
game balls before we go? Here's my prime time players. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Okay, we can jump right into this game with the Browns since we already kind of looked at everything else. So let's go ahead and gamecast this sucker. Let's jump right. Oh, hold on. All right, we got rid of him. Stupid. I had a dummy moment. Oh, good. The Browns already scored a long one. Sick. To Quincy Morgan on the starters. Awesome. Oh, nice, Tavard. Okay, we're good. We're back. We're so back. What? Lee Suggs on a touchdown from a kickoff? What is happening right now? Frick. I wonder if Casey Hampton got hurt. Wow. The Browns, man. Putting it on us. Our offense does not look good. I wonder what it is. What? What just happened? They don't do a good job of expressing turnovers. Ugh, except for interceptions. I had to say that. I think Kendrell Bell's gotten a couple of sacks. Okay, do something. We had 2 fumbles recovered in that drive and somehow find our way in for a touchdown. Oh, I just noticed that Jeff Lee missed a extra point. That's fantastic. Alright, y'all, let's put a freaking drive together. How about it? Gotta convert this. Thank you. Damn. Can we stop giving up penalties? Thank you. Alright, for the win, Ben. Let's go. Never mind. No, actually, I'd actually like you to go 3 and out in a really sad fashion so the Browns could drive and score again. What? We just got smacked by the Browns. Sacked. Incomplete. Tough. You hate to see it, man. The Browns beat us up. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to simulate the rest of this week. That does not take us out of the preseason. It might take a minute to simulate, though. Ta-na-na, ta-na-na. Okay, now before we go into the actual regular season, a couple of things. One, this took way longer than I thought it was going to, so after we get into the regular season and go over our schedule, I am going to end the stream, mostly because I need to have dinner before it gets crazy late, and I have a busy work week, so I apologize for that. I'm going to try and come back this week. Maybe Tuesday. I think that might actually be an opportunity for me to come and play at least the first game of the season. So let's start with our player stats from the preseason. Ben Roethlisberger was pretty good. So was Ken Dorsey, actually. Both of them over 100 quarterback rating. Love to see it. 52 for 72 for 72% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 1 interceptions for Big Ben, and then Ken Dorsey, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, so great job by him. Love to see that as well. Rushing wise, would have liked to see more from Lee Marsh, and I think if we had to decide between the two of who deserves to be the starter, I think Chris Perry has snatched the starting position from Lee Marsh. I I think we're going to make Chris Perry the starter is where I'm going with this. I mean, the numbers kind of don't lie. I mean, basically the same amount of carries, more yards, better average, not as good yard per hit, but had a long of 24 and scored 5 touchdowns. And it's not like Lee Marsh didn't have opportunities. So I think we're going to make Chris Perry the starter. I'm gonna temporarily say that. I think it'll depend on how they play. Randall L. was the best receiver yards-wise. He had the most catches. Great job by him. TJ Houshmandzadeh had that one big game, but that was pretty much it. Let's go over to touchdowns. TJ had those 2 in that one big game. Darling had 1. Hines had 1. Shannon had 1. Doyle Sharp had 1. See, we got weird that Antoine Randall L. didn't get 1, which is unfortunate. He got targeted 30 times, so the most out of anybody. Only drop was TJ. We'll go to defense. Kendrell Bell was far and away the best guy on the team. Mike Caldwell had a bunch of tackles. Troy Polamalu. That's a nice sign. Gene Lee getting up there with 15 tackles. Let's flip over to sacks really quick because I'm a little bit more interested in that. Kendrell Bell with 2. Wayne Becker at the defensive tackle had 1.5. Max Boone, the new linebacker, had 1. Lester Towns had 1. Ferry had a half. Dana Perry had a half. So not as much from the line as I was hoping. And then no interceptions the whole preseason for this team. Interesting. A sign of things to come. Who knows? 3 TFLs for Kendrell Bell. No forced fumbles. A couple of fumble recoveries, all from the offense. That tracks. Jeff Reed was fine. Gardaki was fine. Drayton Florence didn't have a kick return for a touchdown, but Doyle Sharp sure did have a punt return for a touchdown, so that's pretty decent as well. Something to come for him, hopefully. And that's the stats on those guys. Injury report going into the season, still just Clark Haggins at 1 week, so he'll be good to go for the first game of the week, I believe. And then Kendall Simmons, the backup guard, luckily, is still out for a little bit longer. So I'll check the trading block. I don't think there's any other trades on the block that we're gonna. Eddie George is available. You gotta be fucking kidding me. What are you guys doing? Oh, he's just expensive, and I see what they're trying to do. Okay, that's fine. You try and trade Eddie George. I'm not actually interested. It looks like the Panthers are interested. Interestingly enough, why they would do that is beyond me. But we'll see if that's a trade that goes through. And the Panthers are also trying to get Perkins. Huh. Interesting. Don't the Panthers have... Hold on. Don't the Panthers have Sean Alexander? What are you guys doing? Why are you trying to get Eddie George? You already have Steven Davis and Sean Alexander. You're trying to get a third good running back? That's so weird. The trade logic in this game just absolutely baffles me. Anyway. There's no one else down there that... Am I interested in Dwayne Robertson? He's kind of a... Is he... Yeah, he's really expensive. Yeah, no, I am not interested in Dwayne Robertson. Okay, let's go to the regular season. No, we need to watch SportsCenter one more time. Let's save and let's watch SportsCenter one more time, and then let's go to the regular season. We'll do one more review of our team, because that's when all of the big, meaningful ratings changes happen. And maybe we can even take a look at who got dumped into free agency and try and finalize our roster with what we have, since we got all that good money. So let's watch the final SportsCenter for the preseason. We are going to make Chris Perry the running back. Steve Perry. Points if you know that movie.
In SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Bears come away with a decisive 10-point win. Andre Johnson hauled in over 150 yards receiving and helped his Texans beat the Panthers. Way up in the northern plains in Minnesota, we had the Vikings end up on the right side of an 11-point game. Up at Giant Stadium, we had the Jets come away with a 7-point win. The Browns got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. Terrell Owens pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Eagles beat the Buccaneers. Chargers, Seahawks. LaDainian Tomlinson
Is at the 25-yard line, and boy, his line's been doing a good job for him today. And here they go again. Bounces outside, makes the move himself at the 25. Touchdown!
The Chargers win this one by the final score of 10-3. Down in the sunny skies of Arizona, we had the Cardinals get clobbered by 35. Over at M&T Stadium, we had the Ravens come away with a 7-point win. The Titans got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Nashville. Cedric Wilson nabbed 2 touchdown passes and helped his 49ers beat the Chiefs. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. Luckily, we had a relatively injury-free week, which makes my job just that much easier. Mike Rumph is arguably the biggest name on this list. He'll be out for the rest of the season. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Cowboys, Giants. Quincy Carter
In the red zone at the 14, he calls the signals and buys time with a quick rollout. Now on the move again, kind of flings it. Oh, man, got the 2 feet in, touchdown.
The Cowboys go on to win this by the final score of 21-17.
All right, Chris, let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the
No,
National
the
Football
Colts
League.
signed
As
Elias.
free agency continues to play such a huge role.
Oh, that was
in
a guy I had
determining the
written
team's
down, and they got him for so
makeup. Green
cheap.
will
I
be
should have
playing
grabbed
his
him.
football elsewhere,
Ugh.
though perhaps not for as much as he would have liked. 4 years, $2.6 million.
I'm so mad at myself. I should have grabbed him.
Owens will also have a new
Too
address
bad.
for a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Jets.
Freaking Colts.
Lance Johnstone will be on the move. You see it there. He'll be getting a nice little payday, too. $1.7 million. Sage Rosenfels is on the move as well as he
Sage
signs a
Rosen.
3-year contract with the Panthers.
So that'll just about do it. But before we
Look
go,
at
I'm going
Kendrell
to toss
Bell
out a
getting
few
the
game
player of
balls
the
to my
week.
prime-time
Imagine if we
players.
could ever get a
Each and
linebacker
every
as
one
a
of these
player of
men
the
had a
week.
week to remember. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Okay. There's only one thing to do, and that's to go to the regular season. So let's do that. So we get to check out our schedule. We open up at home against Kansas City. We then go on the road to see the Bengals. We stay on the road to play the Bills. We then come back home for our first shot at the Ravens before getting our preseason revenge chance against the Browns. Another preseason rematch, we head to Washington, so it looks like we're playing the NFC East this year. We got a bye week before we are at home for the New England Patriots. That seems like a bygone conclusion. Before we're still at home for the Giants, a home stand there. We travel to Cleveland before staying on the road to go to Baltimore. We're back at home for Philadelphia before getting on the road to play Tennessee. Interesting. We're going to play Jerome Bettis at home in his new home of Miami, his pre-retirement home, if you will. We're on the road to face the Cowboys. We're back home against the Bengals, and then we close our season against the New York Jets. Very cool. Let's go into... let's start with a trading block, just out of curiosity. See if anything has happened that's interesting. Jerome Mayberry goes up. Ricky Williams is... What? Interesting. That's so interesting. The Dolphins are offering somebody up for a guard from the Panthers. So did those other trades not Did they go away? Really quick, before I look at contracts and stuff, did the trades happen? Or did they just disappear? No, they happened. What the hell? Why didn't they come up? So Philip Daniels from the Carolina Panthers for Alan Perkins, a defensive. This is crazy. Eddie George for Benjamin Scott. He did descend to a 73. He has taken a backslide from a 79. Who is Benjamin Scott? And who is the starting halfback for the Titans now? Let's answer that question first. Well, Chris Brown got it. So they got a rookie that they really like. Okay, I didn't see that. So they have Chris Brown, who's really good, and Lamont. Okay, I see that trade now. And they opened up a ton of cap space for themselves. Benjamin Scott is not very good, but I guess that's what they needed to make the trade for. No picks, which is crazy too, but just pure salary dump. Crazy. And then the Giants have completely traded their defensive end core. I guess we can start with the Panthers because they traded first, not wide receivers, defensive ends. So they get Perkins, who's young, and will come in as a backup. That's actually a nice little slot for them. Are all of these trades going to make sense on a level? And Philip Daniels comes in as the starter. That's fair. I'm actually kind of shocked that they made such competent trades. Okay. Cool. Let's go to the free agents. Doesn't really look like there's much out there. We don't need a quarterback. Willie Green comes out. Look at this. Dominic Rhodes got cut. We were trying to trade for him. Yo, you could have gotten something back for him. I kind of want him. Let's start with of course they cut Travis Minor. Why wouldn't you? Okay, so Craig Mathis could be an interesting return guy. 86. Break tackle's good, catch is good, durability's fine. Travis Minor could also be an interesting return guy, but he could be he's not that expensive. Rhodes is cheap. That descending deal makes sense. I would probably give him 10% because he's a 70. That's actually not a bad deal. Okay, so Rhodes is definitely a good option. My other idea here was what? Mathis? Let's see how expensive Mathis will be. Mathis is cheap as hell. I think I gotta go Mathis here. Because I can take his bonus away, and I can make this an ascending deal. And I can roll him as a returner. I think that's a void that we have right now. I mean, he's easily the cheapest option. And I don't think we need Dominic Rhodes level help. I'll look at him one more time. Paul Doyle. Interesting. I bet he's expensive. 82 speed, 74 agility, 75 break tackle, 69 catch. What's his durability? His durability sucks. Yeah, I don't want that. Jamel White. That's funny. I don't know, I feel like that's just me doing name recognition versus getting someone that's actually probably a good choice for young and can develop. Yeah, let's grab the young fella. Actually, let's tack on the 4th year, because is it cheaper to do the 4th year? No, it's not. Maybe by a tiny bit, but not enough to make me care. Let's start with $2 million over 3 with no bonus. He takes it. Great. Okay, so we fill up a halfback spot. We have one other spot we can fill up. Best available. That doesn't move me. I don't really think we need a defensive end. Funny Holiday. That's funny. Marco Swanson. I don't think we need another... Oh, what am I thinking? Why don't I look at free safeties? Of course there's no good free safeties. Yeah, alright, that was a quick look. Ryan Wade, rookie? No, I don't need a free. Oh, that's funny. I traded for Nick Harper in the Buccaneers universe. Some of these guys are fast. Robert Bell, 95-83. 6 foot 194. That's actually good durability considering. I mean, I don't have to sign another guy. I have 53 players. Let's go through our guys. Okay. So Roethlisberger, I don't think actually increased that drastically. Although, I think based on what you guys have said about him in general, he kind of caps at how high he's going to go. I think he does get to the high 80s at some point, but he's going to remain the starter. Dorsey's still our backup. We've got a third stringer now, which is great. He had an awesome year too. I am very much so looking forward to see what he does in year number 3. All right, here's an exciting moment. So I think Chris Perry clearly takes over as the number 1 back here. He improves to a 75 overall. I like his numbers in general. I think he'll be a great number 1 option. Getting his first real shot here. Wonder how he only played 2 games in his first 2 seasons, but he was a rookie when this game started. Okay, cool. We'll take a look at Lee March. I think he does improve by a point or 2. He's honestly not looking... He looks pretty close to Chris Perry in terms of what the skill set is, so he's going to get split carries with Lee for sure. I mean, if you just kind of compare them side by side, you can kind of see the difference, and one of the big differences is that Lee's durability isn't there, so maybe that's part of the reason why he's going to be getting more of the second option looks. I don't know what I'm doing here. Kreider is still the best fullback option we have, but I really like that 83 run block as an option as a backup. Although he's not really doing much else, Wolf there, so he's always an option for a little cap breaker if we need to. Hines technically takes a point back, but like, what do you expect? He was 100 before, now he's at 98. Clearly, we're expecting another big year from him based on the numbers. That's no surprise there. Very encouraged to see some other improvement across our wide receivers. We kind of knew Antoine Randall was going to improve to that 90 or 81 overall. I am hoping for a big season for him, although he had a really great year last year as well. So maybe another big season for him. Maybe even a 2 receivers over 1,000 yards kind of season is maybe something we can play around with. Really good to see DeVar Darling jump forward. He now has technically Mac down here has really nice hands, and we'll take a look at him in a second because I think he's one of the rookies, but nice to see him improve to a 74 overall from a 70 where he started, so that's really nice. Sharp stays at a 67. His hands are okay. He's definitely going to be used as a return guy. TJ takes a step back, actually, so we might need to take a look at that contract. And then Mac, I think we drafted. He's a rookie this year, and he actually improved for sure, and his catch is a 92. So we might have to look at whether or not Curtis Mack is going to be an option for us in the receiving core. At tight end, let's see what's happening here. It looks like Shannon Sharp has fallen off of a cliff, which is a little bit to be expected, as has Kranchik. Jeez. So tight end is definitely a position of need for us. I love that Roy has an 86 catch. I think we're going to keep Shannon Sharp as the starting tight end because he's just got the better block number, and he should be able to bring a little bit more on a play-to-play basis, but I don't think we'll stick with Shannon after this season. He's definitely starting to fall off of that cliff, but nice to see Nick Roy has made a little bit of improvement, especially in his catch. We're going to be using him almost exclusively as a receiver in those 2 tight end sets where we were just not wanting to throw the ball to Kranchik. At center, do not love to see that Hardings is starting to fall off a little bit. Harper improves slightly, but I think the fact that Hardings is going into his final year of his contract and is going to get $4 million off of our books, we will probably move on from him and draft or get a new center come next year. Faneka's still looking good. Carson, I wish improved a little bit more on the pass blocking front, but we're going to have to continue to roll with him. He's a pretty good draft pick for us. Simmons, I think his numbers are slightly affected because he's hurt right now with a broken hand. Looking at tackle, it's getting harder and harder to justify not having Starks as the starter, but for some reason, I'm going to continue to have Marvel Smith be the starter, and Samuels is looking great as well. Definitely going to get a payday very, very soon for Samuels, but Starks, man, I mean, he could technically start over Smith right now, and who knows, if Smith struggles out of the gate, then maybe we're looking to make that switch and move on from Marvel. Jeff Reed's an 83, Gardaki's a 75, fine. Defensive tackle, our starter is going to be Becker here, Wayne Becker in his second year out of South Carolina. I don't love that he's a better pass rusher than he is a run coverage guy, but he is at least a huge, big old body. Donnell Washington, kind of went in the wrong direction to justify starting. This is maybe a position I'm going to look at some of the guys that maybe went into free agency post us changing this over, because maybe sometimes some tasty guys come out. I don't love where we're at for defensive tackle. Defensive end wise, look at John Lee. Okay. I believe we signed him out of free agency as an undrafted free agent. He's looking like a nice little piece right here, bumping up to a 76 overall. That pass rush at an 82 and the run coverage at an 81, and his tackle improved by nearly 10 points. So really good stuff from John Lee taking that starting spot. And look at Aaron Smith now, is a 91 overall. More of a run coverage guy than a pass rush guy, but Aaron Smith getting into his elite era. Love to see that as well. Kirksha is where he is. Henderson, I don't think we made a mistake in drafting him. Actually, look at his run coverage has bumped up really well too. So good showing from our defensive ends. Outside linebackers, it looks like, well, Higgins is still technically hurt. So we won't see his true rating right now. Joey Porter's now an 87 overall. He did come off of a 12-sack season. So hopefully more of the same from Joey on that front. Inside linebacker, good to see Boone getting a little bit of growth to a 69. Nice. Farrier and Kendrell Bell kind of holding tight, 83, 89. This is nice to see. Andre Dyson improves a point. Cole Clutch improves a point. Newton, our rookie, jumps up to a 72. Newton's going to be playing this year, y'all. We got a new Sam Farmer on our hands. 94 speed, 75 coverage, 64 tackle. That's probably going to be good enough. Is he going to start over Gordon Park? I might have to think about that. Although, shoot, that's going to be a discussion of who's going to take that second cornerback spot. Dyson has this one for sure, but I think it's going to have to be a decision between Newton. I like the speed, but the tackle numbers is in favor of Park. I think the 38 tackle for Cole Clutch takes him out of it. Who's more durable? Park. I'll have to really think about this. I think I might start with Park and have... Shoot, am I going to make... Is Cole Clutch going to get sent down to the dime spot? I can't think about this right now. Troy Polamalu is getting his job endangered by Huff, which I think is really funny, because if you know Troy Polamalu, he's like a legend, and I don't think the game understands that. And then finally, Jabril Wilson will become the starter. I say very trepidatiously. I think we're probably going to cut Gilbert. He's in his second year. What is Manning, a rookie? Yeah, so we'll just cut him only in the sense that it'll save us $290. It'll give us an extra roster spot. And we don't need more than 2 free safeties on the roster. And Manning will take that backup spot just fine. Okay, so that's our roster. Let's do that. Let's just get Gilbert off the roster, because I like to... These guys are literally the same. And this will save us a little bit of the moolah. And I don't think there's any reason. These guys are so similar, it hurts me. And in fact, I actually like Manning in a couple of other spots, so we can release him and get a little bit of cap back, get that roster spot back. Now let's look at... I wrote down DT with a circle around it, so let's look at what defensive tackles look like. If I don't like what's out there, then we're just going to move on. I think we need a run coverage guy in the middle, but is there a... I don't think there's a starter caliber guy out there. Like, well, Virgil Wolf, 73. Would he immediately come in and start? The pass rush sucks. 81, 83, 80. Ooh, excuse me. 88 tackles, 74 speed, good durability. And I kind of would rather have a run coverage guy versus a pass rush guy up front, because it's a 3-4 defense. I don't want to pay you a descending contract. If anything, I'll pay you a balanced contract for like 2 years. And I'll even give you a 20% bonus. That's... Sorry, I spoke too soon. It's money. 4.64. It's a little bit friendlier if I sign him for 3. I'm gonna do this. We have the cap room. I think we need a little bit more talent at defensive tackle after going through our team. So I'm gonna make this signing. I'm gonna go to our defensive tackles quickly. He's immediately the starter. I don't mind having Wayne Becker as a backup, and when we need someone to come in and cook, as in Bear, because when I'm bringing in Bear, I kind of want to put more pressure on the quarterback. So I'm gonna keep Virgil here as my starter, and I think we're gonna get $1 million back by cutting Donnell Washington. We drafted him. He got 1 tackle in 1 year. Maybe we didn't draft him. He's been in the year for 3 years. Never mind. We inherited him. So we're going to cut Donnell Washington. And we're going to get that $1 million back. No penalty. Makes sense. Thanks, Donnell, but we don't really need you because we're a 3-4 defense. So we immediately make an improvement. This guy just, I guess, didn't play last year, and he's now gonna be starting on our team. But I do think that's an improvement of the defense. Yeah, get up here, Wolf. I know you didn't play all preseason, but you're coming in. And then that way, Becker will come in for Bear situations. We got 2 giant dudes up front. And then I'm really liking the talent on our outside lines. Okay. We just need to make a decision about who's going to start at the right side cornerback. I think that's the final decision we need to make. I think Newton has put himself in the conversation of needing to be the nickel. Let's look at this. I think we start Gordon Park. He's a little bit faster. He can tackle better. The run coverage is about the same. The pass rush doesn't really matter. Although the catch is not as good. Maybe we could potentially put ourselves into more. Am I about to start the rookie? How tall is Newton? This is literally, he's 6'1". 6'2". That's funny. Fuck it, let's start him. We'll put Park as the nickel guy. Newton gets the start. Cole Clutch comes in on the dime. Okay. I feel good about that. We're going to stay with Shannon as the starting tight end. Everyone stays where they stay. We'll keep an eye on Marvel Smith versus Starks. But I think that's going to do it for now, y'all. Fantastic stream. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for hanging out, as many of you have for as long as you have. Really, really appreciate it. Be on the lookout tomorrow for a poll that will decide the first NCAA Madden 06 connected franchise rebuild. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to post the poll tomorrow. The poll is going to last all week, and I will announce the winner via a graphic. And I have finished, no spoilers, but I have finished recording all of the episodes for the Lion series already, so I am ready to get started on this. That series will conclude posting-wise not this week, but next week. There will be episodes between Detroit and Tampa Bay every weekday this week. And I am probably going to aim to stream on Saturday. Well, actually, that's not true, because I think I have plans with friends on Saturday, so I should probably have real-life things to do. I don't know if I'm going to stream next week, because it's the Super Bowl, and I might actually watch the game. I may stream in the morning on Sunday, as opposed to that. But keep an eye out for a potential stream this week. Keep an eye out for the poll for the next series. And y'all are the best, honestly. A friend who has been watching the channel recently, shout out, you know who you are, has noticed that y'all are super interactive and super cool, so I appreciate you for being all of those things. Anyway, this is long-winded. I've been on for 2 hours, and I need to go eat dinner. Have the best night. Peace out. Goodbye. See ya.